And we are seeing as well the most flu cases so far this year. More than a third of all hospitalizations and deaths reported in the past week. The flu really surged after Thanksgiving. It hasn't slowed down much. And this season, there's already been 13 million illnesses, 120,000 hospitalizations, and around 7,000 people have died due to the flu. Actually, take a look at this map here. It shows all but 6 states have a high or very high number of cases. The ones you're seeing in the purple there have the highest number of cases, and yes, that does include Colorado. And those high case numbers can cause ripple effects, one of those being a shortage of antibiotics. Our Caroline Peters joins us from Colorado Springs. And Caroline, I know you spoke with local pharmacies. I talked to a lot of parents, and this is impacting really everybody right now.
Bree, yes, I called about a dozen pharmacies here in Colorado Springs, and they said amoxicillin, they have it sometimes it's really hard to get their hands on it. And when you think about amoxicillin, it really doesn't help with viruses, but it does help with bacterial infections. That can be a secondary case when you do catch something like the flu or RSV. And that is why we reached out to a local pediatrician here about what she's seeing. She said it's a lot of the flu, COVID, RSV. It's causing kids to get ill this time of the year. That means they're coming in for office and emergency visits, also urgent care. Dr. Matthews tells me the national shortage of amoxicillin, it's impacting her patients. But again, it's not necessarily needed for some of the major infections like the flu.
Influenza, RSV, and COVID, those are viral infections and they don't need to be treated with antibiotics. So we do want to make sure that we're using antibiotics appropriately, judiciously, for the right types of infections.
Vu says the best thing parents can do is come to get tested to see what type of sickness they have. She says do not overlook this step if your child is very sick. If it's a viral infection, your doctor can tell you. And if your child has a bacterial infection and antibiotics, they can also offer you a prescription if they need those antibiotics. Now, the local pharmacies I spoke with, we saw Walgreens over here, CVS behind me. That's their advice. Call around. You would be surprised how many people stick to their local pharmacy. They said if you need an antibiotic, the best thing you can do is make those phone calls. Reporting in Colorado Springs, Caroline Peters, News 5.